What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So, I have a lot of people asking me, they continue to ask me about the gas rebate or any type of stimulus in their state. And so what I've done is I've done some research and I found a list of all the states and what they're doing, where they are in the process of either issuing out some type of a gas rebate, some type of a stimulus. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you get notified anytime we put out a video. And as I stated yesterday, we will be changing the content just a little bit. I want to focus more on retirement, Social Security. We're also going to focus on public policy. So we are going to talk about some of the different plans, the different stimulus plans in the gas rebate and all that. So we will still be focusing on that. But I also want to broaden what's on the channel. So we're going to be talking about different things. And because I just retired, there's a lot of information that I think I can share with you when it comes to going through that whole process of retiring and then being in a situation where you've retired and now you're focused on things that you weren't focused on before. I'm focused on the stock market now where I wasn't that focused on it before. I invested, but I wasn't really watching it the way that I'm watching it every day because it matters. Because if the stock market's doing well, guess what? That means my investments are doing well. That means my money will go further. But if the stock market's not doing well, then now I'm in a situation where I'm trying to figure out, okay, should I pull my money out and just hold it off for a little bit? And so there's a lot that goes with retirement. And so I wanted to focus on that as well as some of the other stuff we've been focusing on the channel. Okay, so I want to get right over to the topic of today. So we're going to take a look at all the different states and how they are sending out stimulus. Now, before we start talking about this, I just want you to understand, now this is only on the state level. This is not the federal level. So your state might not be on this list, but what the states are doing is because they have a surplus, they're starting to issue those out in different ways, gas rebates, stimulus checks, a variety of different ways that they do this. So that's what we're going to be focused on. So let's go ahead and take a look at this list. Okay, so here's the list, and this is coming from Motley Fool. And so not all the states will be on here, but there are a lot of states on here. So hopefully your state will be on here, and hopefully your state will be participating in some type of gas rebate or stimulus check. Okay, so currently California, it's under consideration a gas tax rebate of up to $400 per car, and that's a two vehicle max. So you're looking at $800. A household that has two vehicles would be getting $800. It's under consideration, so it hasn't moved forward yet. Okay, and they're talking about it in legislation, but they have not moved forward with it yet. All right, let's look at Georgia. Georgia, a tax rebate is coming, $250 for a single filer, $375 for a head of household, and $500 for a married filed jointly. Okay, so that's what Georgia is expecting to get. Okay, so it's coming. The rebate is coming, so that means that it's going through that process of legislation right now. Okay, so when it comes to Hawaii, a tax rebate for every Hawaiian taxpayer is under consideration, so it hasn't gone too far yet. $300 if you make less than $100,000 and $100 if you make over $100,000. So that's what they're talking about in Hawaii. Idaho is on the list, tax rebate coming via direct deposit or paper stimulus check. The greater of $75 or 12% of 2020 Idaho state taxes. Okay, so that's how they're calculating that. So if you're in Idaho, you will be receiving some type of a stimulus, some type of a direct payment, but that's the criteria. So in Indiana, they're giving out a one-time tax refund of $125. And so in Kansas, it's under debate. They're reducing or getting rid of the state grocery tax altogether. In some states, you don't have to pay a grocery tax, okay? So California is one, you don't have to pay a grocery tax. So if you go in the grocery store and you buy something, food item, you don't have to pay taxes on that. Okay, Kentucky, under debate on one-time stimulus rebate up to $500 per state resident and $1,000 per household. Okay, that's Kentucky. So they're looking at a pretty good stimulus in Kentucky. And guess who's one of the senators in that state? Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, the one that's been kind of fighting against stimulus checks this whole time, trying to fight against anything that the Biden administration wants to move forward with. In his state, they're talking about a stimulus check, and a pretty substantial one. We're talking $1,000 per household. That's not too bad. Maine, so we talked about Maine a couple of days ago, direct stimulus check payments of $850, and so that will be moving forward. New Jersey, under consideration, property tax rebate of up to $250 for renters and an average of $700 for homeowners. Okay, so that's good. And it's good that they're not only focusing on the homeowner, so $700 for homeowners, but they're also focused on the renter, $250. I think that's good. New Mexico. So we've heard about this. One-time tax rebate is coming. $250 for singles, $500 for married filing jointly. Also, a refundable child tax credit of up to $175, and that will be starting January 1st, 2023. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on in New York. Property tax rebate for 2021, 2022, and 2023, an average of $425 in New York City and $970 outside the city. All right, looking at Pennsylvania, under consideration, cutting the state gas tax by 30%. So that's what they're talking about in Pennsylvania. Not much there, but I mean, 30% is a lot. But when you're just talking about the gas tax, that's all you're talking about. Now in Virginia, under consideration are cutting or getting rid of altogether a state grocery tax or suspending the state 0.262 per gallon gas tax for 1 year. So those are the states. That's the information that we have right now when it comes to states and gas rebates and stimulus and all that. It was surprising to see that Kentucky was on that list. Like I said, knowing that you have both senators in that state, they're against stimulus, but in their state, they want stimulus, right? And we know there are two different governments at work. So you have the federal government, you have the state government, but the state sees a need to provide something for the people in Kentucky, whereas the senators who are representing those people from Kentucky, they don't see that same need. So I just thought that was interesting. Okay, so when it comes to the states, that's all the information that we have as of yet. If we do receive more information, I will make sure to get that to you as soon as possible. So make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell notification, because my ultimate goal is to grow this channel as large as possible. So please share this content with others. Like I said, like the video, subscribe, hit that little bell notification, do all those things, and it really helps out, and I really appreciate it. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.